Hey guys, welcome to Lingua Marina. As you might have noticed, I've just come back from my vacation. So I feel really energized, ready to create more content for you. Ready to share what I know about English with you and share how English is improving my life every single day. Because remember, English is your instrument that helps you achieve your goals. English is not your end goals. It's just something that empowers you to see the world, to explore the world, and to bring your expertise to people from different places across the world. And by the way, I was traveling. I want to Guatemala, I want to Honduras, I want to Panama, I want to Mexico, I want to Belize. And everywhere I come, I got DM from you guys saying, "Oh Marina, you are in my country." And this is the most exciting thing. And every time I get DM like that, I thank my English language for that, because my English is actually helping me connect with you guys. If you are watching from one of those countries, let me know in comments down below. I fell in love with every single country. I really like Panama just because I didn't expect it to be so like wow. The hike was really beautiful. I've already mentioned some country where I have been to Honduras, and you are wondering maybe why I didn't say at, why I didn't say in. So today we are going to talk about those preposition. I'm going to share some rules that people was to determine which preposition to ask. So if you are ready, let's do it today. We are going to talk about the most common preposition at, in, and on. So let's do a quick quiz. He lives 13 Long Street, and you have to select either in, on, or at. I'm visiting my grandma on and at a hospital. I like traveling to, in, at a train. Now you are gonna get the right answer at the end of this video, but make sure you write your answer down so you can check yourself later.
Now, let's talk about some rules. The first rule is when we use at. At is used with a very exact place. Think small building like something that is small. You will always use at the door, at the hospital, at the school, at the university, at the table. So something specific will always be at. But when you're thinking about big things like, I don't know, Panama or Guatemala or St. Petersburg or London, you would never say at, because at only applies to smaller things, and London, Panama, Guatemala, those huge geographical locations. So you can't be at London, you're in London. But I'm at the desk, I'm at home, I'm at my studio, I'm at the bus stop, etc. We use on with streets and avenues. I live on Park Avenue. I live on Green Street. So, on is always with the street, but please remember there are always exceptions. Like if you're talking about a university or you're talking about campus, you say I live on campus. Campus is location where you have your dorms, you have your classes, you have your restaurant, cafeteria, etc. So on campus would be an exception, but normally on is only used with streets. Now, when we're talking about the street, there is another thing to remember. When we have a number, then we use at. I live at 13 Green Street. But when we don't have a number, like I'm asking you, where are you right now? And you're answering, I'm on Market Street. You don't give me a number, then use on. So, at is used when we give the full address, street number, etc. On is when we just mention the street.
Now, when we're talking about street, it's another thing to remember. When we have a number, then we use at. I live at 13 Green Street. But when we don't have a number, like I'm asking you, where are you right now? And you are answering, I'm on Market Street. You don't give me a number and then use on. So at is used when give the full address, street number, and on is when we just mention the street. And when we talk about something bigger than the street, we use the preposition in. So, for example, you help different part of town. We are having lunch in Chinatown, or we are having lunch in Nob Hill. This is like a district here and in San Francisco. Which cities, as I already mentioned. I live in London. I live in New York. We have been in New York for 2 weeks. We are in Los Altos Hills. With stage, I live in California. With part of countries, my friends spend vacation in the south of India. With countries, I used to live in Russia. With continents, my sister is in Africa. So, to sum things up, we use at with specific location and on with less specific location like streets and in with bigger location like cities, towns, countries.
Now we are gonna explore more example about in. In is also used when we are talking about an enclosed space, something that has a roof, something as walls, like in a car, in a building, in a box. Example, I'm waiting for you in my car. Please help me find a pen in this box. Don't put your wallet in a pocket. Now, listen carefully. Right now, we're moving to on, and we use on with a bus, on a bus. And you might ask me, why in a car but on a bus? Wait a minute, I'm gonna explain the other words that we use on with our words that represent surface, like a table is a surface on the table. Floor is also surface on the floor. Behind me, wall is also surface on the wall. We also use on when we talk about left or right. On the left, on the right. On is also used when we talk about next to or along the side of river. For your example, Cambridge is on the river Cam. Now, interesting part, why in a car but on a bus? And its use with means of transportation where you cannot stand up, you use in. Oh my god, English so complicated. So you cannot stand up in the car, so you say in a car. You cannot stand up in a helicopter, and you say in a helicopter. But you can stand up in an airplane. That on an airplane. On an airplane, in a helicopter, on a bus, in a car, on the bus, in a car, in a taxi, because you cannot stand off in a taxi. River. I know guys, this is why I recommend having something like a grammar book so you can refer to things or at least have a script of this video in front of your eyes. On a ship, on a boat, on a plane, on a train, we use on with a means of transport where we can stand up. We can stand up on a plane, we can stand up on a boat, we can stand up on train. Maybe another hint, we use on with a means of transportation where there is no roof. On a horse, on a boat. Boat doesn't have roof normally. You can have both, but on a boat, so normally you don't have a roof. on top of you when you are on the upper deck. On a bike, you cannot really stand up on a bike, but it doesn't have a roof. So, on a bike, on a boat, on your bike.
Another thing that can be super confusing for you guys, and sometimes you hear in the hospital, sometimes you hear at the hospital. Both of those are grammatically correct, but guess what? They have a different meaning, guys. So when you are saying I'm in hospital, that means you are patient. You are actually receiving a treatment. I don't remember the accident. I just remember waking up in the hospital. My uncle is in the hospital right now, receiving treatment for his, I don't know. I don't know if you go to the hospital for that, but he broke a leg. He is in the hospital. Let's do it. I'm giving a birth in hospital, but you can say I'm at the hospital, but that would mean you are just doing something there that you are not a patient. I'm visiting my uncle at the hospital because you are at the hospital not as a patient receiving treatment. You are guest visiting your uncle. And in college, my brother volunteered at a local hospital. Again, he wasn't a patient. This is why we use at the hospital. The same goes for school, museum, library, or any other institution. And we also use at with events like I'm at this Lady Gaga concert. Okay guys, I hope it wasn't super confusing for you. And again, if you remember all the preposition, make sure to follow link below and download the free chapter of grammar book. And if you feel like you are willing to invest your education, just a little sum of money, use 66 of the grammar book will be cheaper for you guys because you are watching this video. And now let's check your test. Okay guys, I guess you are ready to know everything, but let's do it anyways. The first is he lives at 13 Lock Street because we give the full address, we give the number, and we give the street address. And the second is I'm visiting my grandma at the hospital. Why? Because I'm not a patient. She is patient. My grandma is in the hospital receiving treatment, and I'm visiting her at the hospital because I'm not a patient. And the third is I like traveling on the train. You can also say I love traveling by train, but this is another topic for another video here. Because remember that we can stand up on the train, we use on. So I like to travel on a train. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and please hit subscribe button. And if your friends are learning English, please share this video with them. I think it's very useful. I'm very humble. Thank you so much guys, and I'll see you very soon on next hour video guys. Bye bye.